Hi, my name is Denise, and today I'm going to be performing our penny oxidation lab. In this experiment, in order for me to perform the oxidation lab, it is important that we have a good understanding of what oxidation is. And oxidation is the loss of electrons. In terms of oxygen transfer, oxidation may be defined as the chemical process in which a substance gains oxygen or loses electrons and hydrogen. When one of the reactants is oxygen, then the oxidation is the gain of oxygen itself. So today I'll be using a few items or materials to perform today's experiment for the penny oxidation. First off, I am going to be using vinegar right here. Vinegar. I'm going to be using salt as well. Salt. And then I'm going to be using a clear glass cup, so non-metallic, a cup that's see-through. I think it's going to be easier for me to see through. And then I also have this ramekin cup right here, and this is just filled with water, just with plain water from our filtered water from our sparklets. And then as you can see right here, we also have paper towels set down, and then we have some pretty old looking pennies right here. So I don't know if you could see that right here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so that's going to be the materials that we'll be using today to finish our lab up. So we know that pennies are made of copper and zinc, or just copper itself. So since they are dirty, this means that they're covered with copper oxide. So if you take a look at these pennies, they're covered in copper oxide. Okay, and copper oxide forms when the copper reacts with oxygen in the air. So those are our old pennies, and I'm going to go ahead and start. Oh, I also have this spoon as well to go ahead and measure out some of my salt to be added into the clear cup that I had showed you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and make the solution. So it does state to go ahead and add the vinegar into the non-metallic bowl. Let's go ahead and do this. About 1/4 of a cup. That's fine right there. And then it's said to add a teaspoon of salt. So we're going to go ahead and add this solution and then stir it in fairly well. Okay, and there is my teaspoon of salt. So I'm going to go ahead and stir it and mix it. And online it did state that we want to have a somewhat clear consistency on this. We want to make sure that that salt gets dissolved in the vinegar. It makes a pretty good solution. Okay, perfect. I'm just going to mix it some more. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and add the pennies to the solution, and we're going to go ahead and see what partakes and what reaction occurs, and we'll go ahead and discuss the reaction after. So I'm going to go ahead and take this this spoon out of there, just making sure it looks pretty clear. And I think I'm actually going to add a little bit more vinegar because I think I was a little bit under the 1/4. And then mix again. That's better. Definitely better. Okay, awesome. So let me go ahead and add my pennies now. And I'm sure that you guys can see too. Let me put this a little bit closer. And let's see. These are how the pennies looked before. Let's see. Some of them are definitely more oxidized than the other. Okay. Dark. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to add these in. And let's see what happens. So as you can see, those pennies are pretty old. So we're just going to see what takes place. Wow, that's pretty cool. It's happening pretty quickly, actually. I'm surprised how fast these are starting to clean up. Wow, they almost look like brand new now. So I'm just gonna wait a couple more seconds, leaving it in there. Wow, I don't know if you guys can see it, but now these pennies are almost looking brand new. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is that I'm going to take these pennies out of the vinegar and salt solution, and I'm going to go ahead and add these pennies into the green ramekin consisting of just the plain filtered water. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these, and I just don't well, I guess I shouldn't mind if my hands smell like vinegar, right? Yeah, I'm just going to stick my hands in there because it's too hard to get the pennies with the spoon. And adding the pennies to the water is supposed to stop the current reaction that's taking place. So we're adding the pennies into the water, stopping the reaction from taking place. And I'm going to go ahead and take them out, and I'm going to show you guys how it looks. So I'm moving the solution away, and we have our handy dandy paper towels right here, ready for me to place these pennies on top of them so I can go ahead and show you guys how good they look now. I mean, they're not 100% perfect, but they look almost new. Wow. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly walk you through what took place. I don't know if you guys can see that. This older looking penny definitely looked like it needed some more time, but what we're given and how many minutes or a minute or two I let it in there, I think that's pretty good. Looks almost brand new. You see that? Awesome. So let me go ahead and talk you through what happened. Vinegar is an acid that reacted with the salt, sodium chloride, to produce sodium acetate and hydrogen chloride. And these quickly removed the copper oxide that was on top of the pennies that I showed you earlier. It removed the copper oxide from the pennies itself. So in short, the combination of the vinegar, which is a weak acid, and the table salt, the sodium chloride, helps dissolve the copper oxide and also form the blue copper 2 ion, which is soluble in water, and the penny becomes shiny and almost new again. So right here. Awesome. So much cleaner. All right. Awesome. So that's going to be it for today's lab. Thank you for watching.